So I want to preface this by saying I never believed in ghosts. I wasn't like raised with parents who believe in ghosts, so like always to me, ghosts were just like this made up thing. What's up, vlog? It is noon and I have so much editing to do today. I haven't even started Vlogmas yet, so I gotta get on that. Oh, okay. But I just wanted to say hi, so hi. I finished editing Vlogmas and I have a main channel video to edit too, but I have just been going through and trying to finish up some Christmas present shopping. So far I have everything for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, which is a pretty good start. It is hard shopping for everyone though, really hard. It's just tough coming up for creative gifts for everyone, like stuff that they'll actually use that like won't be a waste of their time. Urban is selling cassette tapes now. Ugh. Maybe should we taste test the candy that I got yesterday that I said we would taste test today? So in case you missed it, this was a gift from my management. It's Sugar Fina candy, which is obviously the best ever. And it's all these really cute holiday ones. Like, wow, so adorable. Wait, just opening this smells so good. Okay, so the first one here are reindeer noses. They're little gummies, I think. That is so good. Okay, let's try these. These are the Party Penguin gummies. Oh, how cute. They look like little penguins. Oh man, that's good. Okay, last one are these Santa's cookies. Look, his hat has like a little puff ball on it. That's so cute. These smell so good. What the heck are these? Gingerbread cookie bites. That's good stuff. I'm happy. I'm just working on editing this video here that I have to get done today, and hopefully I'll get more than this done, but we'll see. Oh, sorry, Netflix is starting. But look at how gorgeous this looks. Like, wow. That hot chocolate yesterday was so delicious. Like, tempted to make more now. I am actually going to start another new show on Netflix that I have been wanting to try, and that is Godless. Let's see. Cool. I'll let you know how I like it. All day. All day. That's not annoying at all, haha. I've been dying to tell you guys about this and I just haven't had the opportunity to really get around to it yet, so I'm gonna tell you right now the craziest ghost experience I ever had. This just made me think of it because I was looking through Adam Ellis's Twitter. I'm sure you guys have all seen his Twitter feed by now because it like blew up, but basically he's documenting how this ghost David is haunting him. Who knows if it's real or not, I don't know, but it's just entertaining, so I like to read through it. And while I was doing that, it made me realize that I had never told you guys about my ghost experience. So I want to preface this by saying I never believed in ghosts. I wasn't like raised with parents who believe in ghosts, so like always to me, ghosts were just like this made up thing. And I always said that it was one of those things that you had to like experience firsthand if you were ever going to truly believe it. And it wasn't until a couple months ago that I experienced a ghost situation firsthand that seriously blew my mind and honestly made me believe in ghosts. I figured this would be a good vlog to share all of this because I don't have a lot going on today, so like the majority of this vlog is gonna be me telling this story. So as well, I was doing Heather's, and when I got to the theater and started getting to know some of the people in the show, they would tell me like, oh, the theater's haunted, and they told me about 3 main ghosts who live in the theater. Some people think there's 4. I think there's 4 because the one that I experienced isn't like one of the 3 confirmed, I don't think. I think it's the other one. So the first one is a Victorian woman. She hangs out in this really creepy bathroom attached to the dance studio. I never experienced her, but she apparently, like, if you're in the bathroom there, she'll like hold the door so that when you try to open it, it won't open, and then like you'll feel like someone pulling back at it. And the costume woman there told me that her grandkids like told her like, oh, we saw this woman, and like described her exactly the way that people had seen her before, and so that's like weird. The second ghost is someone who they call Twitching Man. He's another mean ghost. Him and the Victorian Woman are the 2 mean ghosts who live in the theater. There's a second story to the theater where they have this like big costume shop back there and also where the spotlight is. That's where Twitching Man lives. People have seen him a couple times. They call him that because basically he just stands there and like twitches in like a weird way. The stories that I've heard about him, like this woman Deb, who was our musical director, she was pushed by him into a costume rack and had like a huge bruise down her side from hitting into the costume rack. Again, the costumes and props, people have seen him up there while they're up there working. And my director actually saw him twice during Tech Week in one day, where he basically just saw like this figure like sort of step out from the shadows in front of this white wall where you could see him, and you couldn't see features, but he said that you could tell that it was like a mask. Like it wasn't just a shadow of something, it was like it had like mass to it, and he just stood there and like stared at our director Joe for a little while and then disappeared, and then it happened again later that night. So creepy. There's the third ghost, who's the little girl, and we actually have a literal photo of the little girl that Tara actually took in her vlog. She didn't even realize that she did it though. Basically, the little girl hangs out in the theater. People have like, after shows, tried to like clear the theater and they check to make sure everyone's out, and there's a little girl running around, so they like ask like, is anyone's kid in the theater? And when they look back, she's gone. She peeks out from behind the curtains, but the main place where she hangs out is the wood room, and I'm gonna talk more about that in a second. And then the fourth ghost, who people think live in this theater, is actually the theater owner's brother, who actually died in a car accident leaving the theater, and so people think that his spirit ended up there. And the thing with him is that he like messes with the lights, and weird things do happen with the lights all the time at this theater. Basically, people say that he like will flash the spotlight, like you'll literally mention him and all of a sudden the spotlight, which is up on the second floor like I mentioned, will randomly flash. The lights on the back of the stage will do weird stuff. I definitely saw stuff like that happen. Our smoke machines would randomly like puff, and of course it's an old theater, old wiring. You can come up with explanations for anything that I'm about to tell you, so feel free to like rip this apart. Let's get into what actually happened to me. So I think that I experienced that fourth ghost, the theater owner's brother, because he messes around backstage and like does things. He's like sort of like gently pushed my director one time, not like in a mean way, just like in a playful way. I feel like he's one of those ghosts who just like wants people to know that he's there. So the very first thing that I experienced, oh my god, this is so weird. So it was during Tech Week, so we were spending hours and hours and hours at this theater, and basically we were backstage, and I was standing in like the main little hallway backstage, and someone told me like this girl who was in the show, Kaden, had thought that she saw something back there earlier that night. And I was like, oh my god, that's so crazy. And right when that happened, I felt someone poke me, but it wasn't like, it was sort of like with just a little bit of force, nothing crazy, but it was just like a little poke. But it didn't happen in like an area where I feel like if someone was messing with me, they would poke me like on my shoulder or something like that. It literally happened like right here, like almost in my armpit area, which is like a weird place for someone to poke me, obviously. And so I felt that as soon as they said like she thought she saw something back there. And so I turned around, and the only person who was behind me was Grace, a girl who was in it, but she was maybe 5 or 6 feet away from me, and I feel like I turned around really quickly. I feel like I would have like heard her moving or seen her move away from me, and she was just standing there, and I said, did you just touch me? And she was like, no. So that was the first thing I experienced. I know like sometimes you feel things like it's just like a little weird thing, but with everything that I experienced, it just felt different than when you're like freaking yourself out into thinking something. It's this different feeling that you get. My chest gets tight just talking about it. It's just a weird feeling. So the second thing that happened to me was actually on one of our show nights. I believe that this was the Friday night performance of our second weekend. Basically backstage, if you watch my Heather's vlogs, you'll know this, there are these little cubbies back there. They're pretty small, really only like 2 people can fit in there at a time. The show had started, so it was only me and 4 other people backstage still because everyone else was on stage for the start of the show. And I was standing maybe this far away from the wall, the back wall of my cubby, like here where my thumbs are, and I was standing like there. So like, honestly, there was no room for anyone to even be standing behind me anyway. But so clearly in my ear, I heard someone say my name, Jill. It was really quick, and it didn't really sound like a human voice. It sounded weird. Like, my best impression of it is like, Jill. Like really weird. It sounded like almost like a machine. And so again, immediately I turned around because I heard someone say my name into my ear from behind me, and obviously I was standing up against the wall and no one else was in my cubby with me at all. No one else was even around me at all, and I was like, whoa. And again, people hear their names all the time, like you'll think that someone said your name, but it was just different. It just felt different. It's a weird feeling. So those were my 2 personal experiences with ghosts. Like I said, weird things would happen. That same night that I heard my name in my ear, the lights were like really acting up. We would be backstage and the lights along the back of the stage would be just like randomly spinning, which like they don't do. The smoke machine would randomly puff a little bit. So like, I don't know if the ghosts were out to play that day. There are all sorts of other stories about things that people have experienced. The one that freaks me out the most is that this girl came into the theater one day and she was in the lobby and heard like this loud music playing from the theater. And so she opened the door, but when she opened the door, the music stopped and it was pitch black in there. No one was in there. And she was so freaked out, she literally would not go in the theater alone again for like months because she was so scared. Now to this photo. So I'm just gonna put the photo up on the screen the whole time I'm telling this. So if you look very carefully, you will see on the photo a little figure. Now this was in Tara's vlog from when she came to see Heather's. I will link it down below with the timestamp so you can go and see it. This is up in the wood room. Now the wood room is this really creepy staircase that leads up to like where props are, wood that they use to build sets, stuff like that. I literally have never ever been up there because you always hear weird noises coming from up there. That's apparently where the little girl lives, which is weird because literally in that photo you can see the little girl. So creepy. Anyway, Tara was just filming up there, like just took a shot because I was telling her about the ghost that lives up there. And for just 1 second in the vlog, there's nothing there, nothing at the top of the stairs, and then suddenly this thing appears there. And it's this photo of this girl. And it looks like a little Victorian girl, or like not even Victorian, but just like an old-timey girl who is up there, and that's like the way that the little girl looks. If you're still confused, like let me try to describe this. So like her face is obviously the white blob at the top, and then her body comes down from there, and she's sitting like sort of the way that my legs are right now, like this, and then her hand is on her knee here, and she has another arm just coming straight down here. You can sort of see her hair a little bit, and the creepiest part is that when you zoom in, you can for sure see 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. That really freaks me out. Honestly, after I saw that photo, I was like, that's it. That is the little girl. And you could say that's just something at the top of the stairs, but honestly, when you watch her video back, there is nothing at the top of the stairs until just like randomly that appears. That's like my general ghost experience. You know, feel free to pick this apart. Of course, you can find explanations for anything and everything, but it's just, like I mentioned, this weird feeling that I get when I think about this situation. It makes my stomach turn a little bit. Like, there was something so real about it, and I did not believe in ghosts. I really didn't. So anyway, that's my ghost story. That's my little story time for the day. I hope you enjoyed it, and now I'm gonna get back to editing. Okay, I'm gonna make myself some food now. I'll make myself some top ramen. I haven't had top ramen in so long, because obviously it's so bad for you, but it's just so quick and easy, and like soup sounds nice right now, so that's what we're gonna do. And 10 minutes later, dinner is ready, and that's why I love top ramen. Wednesday night means Survivor night. Yes. Second to last episode of the season. I'm like stressed about it. Ugh. Drinking wine and eating Cheez-Its is the same as having wine and cheese, right? It's the millennial wine and cheese, let's be honest. It is 11 p.m. I just finished off that bottle of wine. This is just my second glass. There was only a little bit left, so I figured might as well finish it. Can't let it go to waste. So I'm having this, and now I think it's time to go lay in bed. I'm literally just gonna bring this into bed with me.